Chapter 1 of Book 3 of Physics by Aristotle, translated by Thomas Taylor. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jeffrey Edwards. Chapter 1. Since, however, nature is a principle of motion and mutation, and the method with us is concerning nature, it is necessary that we should not be ignorant what motion is. For, this being unknown, nature also must necessarily be unknown. And, as we intend to define motion, we must also endeavour, after the same manner, to discuss those things which are consequent to this. But motion appears to belong to things continuous, and the infinite first presents itself to the view in that which is continuous. Hence it frequently happens that those who define the continuous employ the nature of the infinite, as if that which is divisible to infinity is continuous. To which we may add that it is impossible for motion to subsist without place and void and time. It is evident, therefore, that for these reasons, and because these things are common and universal to all things, we should in the first place make each of these the object of consideration, for the speculation of peculiarities is posterior to that of things common. But first, as we have said, we must direct our attention to motion. There is then something which is in energy only, and there is something which is both in energy and capacity. One thing also is this particular thing, another so much in quantity, and another of a certain quality, and in like manner in the other categories of being. But of relatives, one is predicated according to excess and defect, another according to the effective and passive, and in short, the motive, and that which may be moved. For the motive is motive of that which may be moved, and that which may be moved by that which is motive. Motion, however, has not a subsistence separate from things. For that which is changed is always changed, either according to essence, or according to quantity, or according to quality, or according to place. But in these, as we have said, nothing common can be assumed which is neither this particular thing, nor a participant of quantity or quality, nor of any one of the other categories. Hence there will not be either motion or mutation of anything except the particulars we have mentioned. But each of the categories subsists in a twofold manner in all things. Thus, with respect to this particular thing, one thing pertaining to it is form, and another privation. In quality, one thing is white, and another black, and in quantity, one thing is perfect, and another imperfect. In like manner also in lation, one thing is above and another beneath, or one thing is light and another heavy, so that the species of motion and mutation are as many as those of being. But since in every genus of things there is that which is in entelechia, and that which is in capacity, motion is the entelechia of that which is in capacity, so far as it is in capacity. Thus, change according to quality is the energy of that which may be so changed, so far as it is capable of this change, and increase and diminution are the energies of that which may be increased, and of its opposite, that which may be diminished, for there is no name common to both. Generation and corruption also are the energies of that which may be generated, and of that which may be corrupted. And lation is the energy of that which may be locally moved. But that this is motion is hence evident. For when that which may be built so far as we say it is such is in energy, it is then built, and this is building. In like manner with respect to discipline, healing, rolling, and leaping, and a progression to manhood and old age. However, though some things are the same both in capacity and energy, yet not at the same time, or not according to the same, But, for instance, a thing may be hot in capacity, but cold in energy, and many things act upon and are passive to each other, for each of these will be at the same time effective and passive. Hence, that which naturally moves is also movable, for everything of this kind moves, since it is also that which is moved. To some, therefore, it appears that everything which moves is moved. Whether, however, this be true or not, will be manifest from some other of our writings. For there is something which moves, and is itself immovable. But motion is the entelecheia of that which is in capacity, when, being in entelecheia, it energizes, not so far as it is that which it is, but so far as it is movable. I say, so far as it is movable, for brass is in capacity a statue, yet at the same time motion is not the energy of the brass so far as it is brass, since the essence of brass is not the same as something which is movable in capacity. For if they were simply the same, and according to definition, motion would be the energy of the brass, so far as it is brass. They are, however, as we have said, not the same. And this is evident in contraries. For that which has the capacity of being well, and that which has the capacity of being diseased, differ from each other, since otherwise to be diseased would be the same thing as to be well. But the subject, that which is well, and that which is diseased, whether it be humour or blood, are one and the same. But since that which is in capacity is not the same according to definition as that which is in energy, as neither is colour the same as that which is visible, it is evident that motion is the entelecheia of that which is in capacity, so far as it is in capacity. That there is this energy, therefore, and that a thing then happens to be moved when this energy exists, and neither prior nor posterior to it, is manifest. For everything is able at one time to energize, and at another not. As, for instance, that which is capable of being built, so far as it is capable. And the energy of that which is capable of being built, so far as it is thus capable, is building. For building is either this, the energy of that which is capable of being built, or it is the house. But when the house is, it will no longer be that which is capable of being built. That, however, is built which is capable of being built, and hence it is necessary that building should be the above-mentioned energy. But building is a certain motion, and the same reasoning will apply to other motions. That what we have asserted too is well said is also evident from what others have said concerning motion, and from it not being easy to define it otherwise. For neither motion nor mutation can be placed in any other genus, nor have those who have advanced a different opinion concerning it spoken rightly. But this will be evident to those who consider the affair. For by some motion is said to be difference, inequality, and non-being, though it is not necessary that any one of these should be moved, neither if they be different, nor if they be unequal, nor if they be non-beings. Neither is mutation into these, nor from these, rather than from their opposites. But the reason why they referred motion to these things is this, that motion appears to be something indefinite, and the principles of the other coordination are indefinite because they are privative. For no one of them is this particular thing, nor of a particular quality, nor does it belong to any of the other categories. The cause, however, why motion appears to be indefinite is because it can neither be simply referred to the capacity, nor to the energy of beings. For neither that which has the capacity of being a definite quantity is moved from necessity, nor that which is a definite quantity in energy. Motion, too, appears to be a certain energy, but imperfect, the cause of which is that the capacity of that is imperfect, of which the energy is motion. On this account it is difficult to apprehend what motion is, for it is necessary to refer it either to privation, or to capacity, or to simple energy, but it does not appear that it can be any one of these. The above-mentioned mode, therefore, remains, viz., that it is a certain energy, but such an energy as we have said it is, difficult indeed to be perceived, but which may have a subsistence. Chapter 2. But, as we have said, everything which moves is moved, being movable in capacity, and of which the immobility is rest, since the immobility of that to which motion is present is rest. For to energize with respect to that which is movable, so far as it is movable, is to move. But it effects this by contact, so that at the same time also it suffers. Hence motion is the energy of that which is movable, so far as it is movable, and this happens from the contact of that which is motive, so that at the same time it likewise suffers. But that which moves always introduces a certain form, either this particular thing, or of such a quality, or of a definite quantity, which will be the principle and cause of the motion when it moves. Thus man in energy makes man from man, which is in capacity. That also which is the subject of doubt is evident, viz., that motion is in the movable thing, for it is the energy of this, and is derived from that which is motive. The energy likewise of that which is motive is not different, for it is necessary that both should be energy, since it is motive because it has the capacity of being so, and moving because it energizes. But it is energetic of the movable, so that in a similar manner there is one energy of both. Just as there is the same interval of one with respect to two, and of two with respect to one, and also between acclivity and declivity, for these are one, but the definition is not one. The like also takes place in the mover and that which is moved. There is here, however, a logical doubt. For perhaps it is necessary that there should be a certain energy different from that which is effective and that which is passive, since the one is a producing or making, but the other is passion. But with respect to work and end, of this indeed it is effect, but of that passion. Since therefore both are motions, if they are different, in what will they be inherent? For either both are in that which suffers and is moved, or the making is in the maker, but the passion in the patient. But if it be necessary to call this also making, it will be homonymous. If, however, this be the case, motion will be in that which moves, for there is the same reason of that which moves, and of that which is moved. Hence either everything which moves will be moved, or that which possesses motion will not be moved. But if both action and passion are in that which is moved and suffers, and also teaching and discipline, which are two, are in the learner, then in the first place the energy of each thing will not be in each, and in the next place it is absurd that two motions should be at once moved. For there will be certain mutations of quality, two of one subject, and to one form, which is impossible. Will there be one energy? But it is absurd that there should be one and the same energy of two things different in species. There will be, however, if discipline and teaching, action and passion are the same. To teach also will be the same as to learn, and to act as to suffer, so that it will be necessary that every teacher should learn, and every agent suffer. Or shall we say that neither is it absurd that the energy of one thing should be in another? For teaching is the energy of the teacher, yet it is in something, and is not cut off, but is of this in this. Nor is it absurd that there should be one and the same energy of two things, not as if the essence were the same as in an upper and an under garment, but as that which is in capacity to that which energizes. Nor is it necessary that the teacher should learn, not even if to suffer and to do were the same, since they would not be the same as if there were one definition declaring the essence of the thing, as in an upper and an under garment, but they would be the same, just as the way from Thebes to Athens is the same as the way from Athens to Thebes, as was before observed. For not all the same things are inherent in things which are in any way whatever the same, but only in those of which the essence is the same. It does not follow, however, that if teaching is the same as discipline, to learn is the same as to teach, as neither, if there is one distance of things which are distant, is it one and the same thing for this to be distant from that, and that from this. In short, neither is teaching properly the same as learning, nor acting as being passive, but the motion in which these are inherent is the same. For to be the energy of this in this, and of this from this, differ in definition. Chapter 3. What motion, therefore, is, both universally and particularly, has been said, since it is not immanifest how each of its species should be defined. For mutation, according to quality, is the energy of that which may be so changed, so far as it possesses this capacity. Further, the energy of that which is effective and passive in capacity is more known so far as it is such, and that simply, and again in particulars, building or healing. After the same manner also we may speak concerning each of the other motions. Chapter 4. Since, however, the science concerning nature is conversant with magnitudes, motion, and time, each of which must necessarily be either infinite or finite, although not everything is either infinite or finite, as, for instance, passive quality or a point, for perhaps it is necessary that no one of things of this kind should be placed in either of these. Since this is the case, it is fit that he who engages in a discussion concerning nature should speculate the infinite, and consider whether it is or not, and, if it is, what it is. But that the speculation concerning the infinite pertains to this science is indicated by this circumstance, that all those who appear to have touched on a philosophy of this kind in a manner which deserves to be mentioned have discoursed about the infinite, and all of them consider it as a certain principle of beings. Some, indeed, as the Pythagoreans and Plato, consider it per se not as being an accident to anything else, but as having an essential subsistence, except that the Pythagoreans indeed consider the infinite as subsisting in sensibles, for they do not make number to be separate, and they assert that what is beyond the heavens is infinite. But Plato says that beyond the heavens there is not any body, nor ideas, because these are nowhere. He affirms, however, that the infinite is both in sensibles and in ideas. And the Pythagoreans, indeed, say that the infinite is the even in number, for this being comprehended and bounded by the odd imparts infinity to beings. They add that this is indicated by what happens in numbers. For nomons being placed about unity, and also being placed separately, sometimes another form is always produced, and at other times one and the same form remains. But Plato establishes two infinites, viz., the great and the small. All those, however, who discourse concerning nature always subject a certain other nature of those things which are called elements to the infinite, as, for instance, water or air, or that which subsists between these. But no one of those who make the elements to be finite introduces infinity. Such, however, as make infinite elements, as Anaxagoras and Democritus, say that the infinite is continuous by contact, the former from similar parts, but the latter from the all-spermatic nature of figures. And the former indeed asserts that any part whatever is similarly mingled with the whole, because he saw that everything is generated from everything. For hence he seems to have said that all things once subsisted together, as this flesh and this bone, and in like manner everything else. All things, therefore, thus subsisted, and consequently together, for the principle of separation is not only in each, but likewise of all. For since that which is generated from such a body, and there is a generation of all things, though not together, it is also necessary that there should be a certain principle of generation, but this is one which he calls intellect. Intellect, however, operates from a certain principle by understanding, so that it is necessary that all things should have once subsisted together, and once have begun to be moved. But Democritus says that none of the principles were produced one from the other, though at the same time common body itself is the principle of all things, differing in magnitude and figure according to the parts. That this theory, therefore, pertains to physical concerns is, from what has been said, evident. Rationally, too, do all philosophers consider the infinite as a principle, for it cannot be in vain, nor can any other power be present with it than that of a principle. For all things are either the principle or from the principle. But of the infinite there is no principle, since otherwise it would have an end. Again, it is also unbegotten and incorruptible, as being a certain principle. For that which is generated must necessarily receive an end, and end is the corruption of everything. Hence, as we have said, there is a principle of this, but this appears to be the principle of other things. It likewise appears to comprehend and govern all things, as those assert who do not introduce other causes beside the infinite, such as intellect or friendship. It would seem also that this is divine, for it is immortal and indestructible, as Anaximander says, and most of the physiologists. Chapter 5. But a belief that there is something infinite is produced in those who consider it from 5 arguments especially. From time, for this is infinite. From the division in magnitudes, for mathematicians also use the infinite. Further still, from this, that thus generation and corruption will not fail if that is infinite, whence that which is generated is taken away. And again, because that which is finite is always bounded with reference to something, so that it is necessary that there should be no end, if it is always necessary that one thing should be bounded with reference to another. But that which especially produces credibility, and is the principal argument, is what causes a common doubt in all men. For in consequence of intellection never failing, number also appears to be infinite, and mathematical magnitudes, and that which is beyond the heavens. And since that which is beyond is infinite, body also appears to be infinite, and it would seem that there are infinite worlds. For why is there rather void here than there? So that if there is bulk in one place, it is also necessary that it should be everywhere. If also there is a vacuum, and an infinite place, it is necessary that there should be an infinite body. For in things which have a perpetual subsistence, capacity differs nothing from being. The speculation of the infinite is, however, attended with doubt. For many impossibilities happen both to those who do not admit that it has a subsistence, and to those who do. Further still, in what manner does it subsist? Whether as essence, or as an essential accident to a certain nature? Or does it subsist in neither of these modes, but is nevertheless infinite, or infinites in multitude? It is, however, especially the province of a natural philosopher to consider if there be sensible infinite magnitude. End of chapter 5 of book 3. Recording in memory of Mitchell Edwards.